What if I can tell you a method that you can do with your money in order to earn passive income? And by passive income, I mean you can get paid for doing absolutely nothing. You can get paid to sleep, you can get paid to go to the bathroom, you're getting paid to work at your job, you're getting paid to do whatever it is you would like. If this sounds enticing to you, welcome to the channel. It is Fridge Financials here that's going to be showing you a method as to what I do with my money in order to earn this passive income. If this sounds like it's something that you are interested in, please consider clicking the subscribe button and following along for more. Turn on the bell notifications because that would help you keep up to date with the videos. So as you can see on my screen right now, we're going to kind of go through my journey first because again, me just saying things out loud isn't really going to be beneficial. Let's actually look at the journey here that I've gone through. As you can see, I started my portfolio for dividend investing in the year 2020. So I'm now approaching my fourth complete year of dividends, which is crazy to think how much time has flown by. You know, I started investing money actually during the COVID year. So when everything was shut down, I started putting money aside and putting money into investments and everything else. And I came across this very interesting way of investing, which is called a dividend. Okay. Now, what dividends really do is that they give you money for owning shares of stocks, any kind of stocks that you're looking for. We'll do a whole breakdown a little bit later on, but I kind of want to show you what my journey has been over the last couple years. So as you can see, we started off very, very strong with a nice 1 penny dividend that has come in multiple times now, which is very, very awesome. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my first dividend that I ever got was in Apple, and that was when I owned like 0.2 of a share or something like that, and they gave me like 1 penny for it as a result. And I was like, oh wow, awesome. But once I started to learn more about dividend investing, I started to kind of grow my dividends that I got paid every single month. And for me, as someone who loves personal finance, investments, those kind of things, I love to track and record everything that I'm doing so I can watch the growth happen myself manually over the years. Every month, my brokerage account comes out with a statement and it tells me how many dividends I've received for the month, which makes my life a little bit easier. But I usually take those numbers, I put it into the spreadsheet here. These are just pictures from the spreadsheet to kind of help you keep track, so that way it's a little bit easier to look at. So again, we want to look for that overall growth of, you know, my job is to see this kind of bars, you know, increase over as time goes on. So my best paying year, or my best paying month, I should say, was $3.52 in December of 2020. You know, and that $3.52 covered probably the time maybe a Starbucks coffee without inflation coming, you know, through the roof right now. I may have been able to buy a nice cup of coffee. I don't really know. I don't remember what the prices were back then. But again, it paid for 1 cup of coffee for an entire month, which doesn't seem like it's a lot. But it's really interesting and fascinating to see how it happens as years go on. We fast forward to 2021. And, you know, in the month of February alone, since I was investing money, and again, this is not just me saying, oh, I put in $5 and this is it. You know, this is me consistently investing my money. I have money on the side. I have money in my accounts. I move it to the brokerage account and I buy shares of companies that pay me dividends. And as you can see in the month of February, it has already paid me more than what I earned in those, you know, 5 months of 2021, which is pretty spectacular. Again, so now I can maybe buy 2 cups of coffee from Starbucks instead of 1 in the month of February. So the portfolio kind of kept growing and growing and growing. And at the end of the year of 2021, I made $203.86. And as you can see, I want to have that nice little growth. I don't want to see this thing going down. If it starts going down, then I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So I don't like having that. So thankfully it's still going up because I'm investing more money and my dividend increases. But so the really cool thing about it is that with focusing on dividends is that, you know, the money comes in and it increases. I had a month of $44. I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me get rid of this so I can show you guys. So I had a month of $44 of income. So $44, again, you're looking at now paying, you know, 10 times as much as from December from the previous year. So, and from December of 2020 to December of 2021, again, I've increased my dividend $40. So I wake up in the morning, I get a notification from my brokerage account and it says, here's money from this, because you owned X amount of shares of Apple or, you know, AT&T or whatever, and they pay you money. So I wake up in the morning, get ready for work, and I get those notifications, and it's a beautiful sight to see because this is money that I have not worked for. I bought shares of companies, and again, there's a lot more to it, obviously, but you're able to buy shares of companies and you get money for it. It's very, very awesome. Now, Fast forward down to the next 2 years. Now, as you look at the next 2 years here, this is fantastic, and I love to see this. And I was really excited. I'm glad I'm doing this video now because you'll see why in a minute. So in 2022, my highest paying month was December, which was $76. So again, I'm investing more and more money. And again, as I invest more and more money throughout the year, of course, the dividends get increase and the amount of money I'm getting increases. So usually by the end of the year is when I have my highest paying month. So $76 I made, and I made $481 in dividends from last year. That is, so many cups of coffee. That actually is, could be like half of my rent. It could be, a little over a car payment. And this is what I love about dividends is that, so now instead of me, I've over doubled it. I went from $203 to $481, which is fantastic. So as you invest more and more money into it, they pay you more and more and more and more. Now, looking at 2023, this is why I'm so glad I'm making this video. I just got my email from my brokerage account, and I have officially eclipsed a 3-figure amount of dividends for the month of June. And I did not think it was that high, and it was $100.59. That $100 can pay for my water bill, can pay for electricity a little bit. It goes a long way. And that is what I love about dividends, is that I'm increasingly getting more and more money as the year go on. Now, we could do a check-in 6 months down the road, and I can only imagine what my December number is going to be. Because as you can see, every single month, every single year, say, the December has been the highest paying month. So this number I'm going to be very, very excited about. Now, if you're wondering how to get started in this and how it works, I'm going to show you guys in the next clip. So I'll be back in 1 second. All right, everybody, and I am so glad that if you're sticking around for this portion of the video here to kind of show you how this works with a dividend, okay? So it's very, very fascinating. So I picked a well-known brand that almost everybody probably has. Maybe you're watching on your phone right now, but I'm looking at the company of Verizon. So Verizon does pay out money. They do have a dividend, and basically what happens is this, and I'm going to show you with an illustration. Just keep in mind, as someone who likes to do finance and math and numbers, I am not very creative, so just bear with me as I draw this out here. So let's imagine that this is you, okay? So I don't know, whoever's watching at home, I don't really know. I'll give you a biceps if you want. Again, great picture, I know. I went to school. I don't know what I'm really doing anymore. I'm kind of just drawing whatever at this point. But so in this point, I don't, you can tell I don't draw. So what happens though is, let's say, and I'll even color code this for you guys. Let's say that you have Timmy here. So Timmy has some money. Looks like the dollar bill from SpongeBob. So Timmy has some money, and what he does is he goes, you know what? I want to buy some shares of Verizon. Okay, so he puts money in, and he wants to buy shares of Verizon. Now, again, it could be a partial share, it could be a full share, it could be multiple full shares. Whatever it is, up to whoever's investing, whether it's you, somebody whatever. I'll say, for example, that let's say that he does, actually, I don't even want to do 10. I'll just do 1 because I think 1 will be, the easiest way to do the math here. Just kind of show you the point. So what we're looking at here is that we're looking at Timmy, who is buying 1 full share of Verizon. Okay, so 1 share, really great number, right? So what Verizon does, they take that money because it goes into the company, obviously. And at the end of the quarter, Verizon takes a look at the balance sheet. So at the end of the quarter, so we'll look at end. I'm not really good at writing on this sometimes. So the end of the quarter, again, hopefully you can read my writing here. What they do is they look at their balance sheet. And they say, how much money do we have? So do we have some fat stacks of cash? Do we have money everywhere, from investors like Timmy or investors from anybody else? Do we have a lot of money, or are we going broke, right? If they go broke, they have to re-look over their financial statements and look to see what's going on and how they can make money back. But what Verizon will do is they'll say, you know what? We have actually a good amount of money left over, and they'll use the money, the money that goes in, they'll use it for, they'll use it for like promotions. So do promos, they use it for ads, they use it for, whatever they want to come up with. They take that money and they put it into ads, promos, whatever. What ends up happening, though, is that if they have money left over, which a lot of these companies do that are doing these dividend payouts here, when they have some money left over, so say, they had, $2 bills here. again, my ugly drawings aren't the point. So say they have $2 bills as an example here, and they use $1 bill for the promotion. They still have that $1 left over. And again, imagine this is millions upon millions of dollars, not just $2, not just $5, whatever. So they put money into promotions, ads, whatever it is. What happens is they still have that $1 left over. So what they do is they say, you know what, Timmy, thank you so much for investing in our money here, and we'll give you a fraction of, our money we have left over. So maybe it's like half of a dollar. That's my $half drawing right there. So Timmy gets, he has 1 share of Verizon, so he gets, a partial share back. And, it's not a crazy amount. It might be, like $2. And say the share was like $40, which I don't think it is at this time. But, it's a very, very small portion of it. But, it's like, hey, thank you for putting money into Verizon. Here's some money back as gratuity, basically, for owning our share of a company here. Now, the issue that happens with this, and this is when dividends you have to be careful with, is imagine that Verizon has these $2 bills, because I can't draw $5 billion, because that'd be way too expensive, and it would take me way too long. Let's say that they have $2 bills, but they spend, way more than that. Say they spend like $3. Like, ooh, like it's unbelievable, right? So they spend $3 bills. The likelihood is that that's not sustainable, and this might not be a possibility because they don't have the funds left over. They've actually overspent on their money here. So there are companies that do that. That's what's called as a dividend cut, or they reduce it, or they get rid of it entirely. So with dividends, it's a very important thing to understand is that to make sure they have positive cash left over. If you have negative cash, as in they're spending more than they need to, then this dividend is probably not going to be happening. They might actually even cut it, and they might, never pay you again. So things to kind of keep in mind about to kind of show you. This is just a very, very basic example of how Verizon works. There's a lot more to it. There's dividend yields and how they calculate it, but this is kind of just showing you the basics as to how it works. What I'm going to do now is to finish off the video, I'm going to swing over and I'm going to show you guys what my projected value is for the end of this year. So I'll be back in 1 second. All right, everybody, and just to kind of clip today's video here, this is the website that I use to track my dividends as well, to kind of keep track of, because I have a lot of holdings in them, so I like to know that I'm getting paid out every single time and I'm not having anybody cut the dividend, When I have that space where there's nobody paying me money, then I have to think about, do I sell the company? Do I, keep it and hope that it pays it again? So I don't really know. So there's a thing called a dividend yield, which is the percentage of your portfolio that you're going to get paid out every single year. Right? The yield on cost focuses on how much I got at the time. So I bought some shares at discounted values, which is why the yield's a little bit higher. As the price goes up, the yield goes down. As the price goes down, the yield goes up. So there's a I don't want to say balance, but they kind of work in reverse. So I bought a lot of shares when they were discounted. So right now they're paying a little bit less of a dividend, but my yield on cost is a little bit higher. So for the month of July, which has just started, I'm looking at a income of $44.54. Not a huge amount compared to what I just got, which I showed you was $100. But again, it still compares a lot to what I got last year in July. And as you can see here, my predicted annual income is over $800. Now, last year, I believe it was like 400 and something. This year, I'm looking at, again, almost doubling it to be $800, which is just astonishing to me. I mean, $800, that's a couple car payments. That could be, groceries for 2 weeks. And this is money that I get for doing absolutely nothing. This website really helps me keep track of my portfolio and everything. I didn't just have this huge spike like I'm an expert trader. I just started using the website around this time, so that's why it looks like this huge spike. I put all my holdings in at that time. So that kind of is like what I think is really, really nice. But I love this website because it tracks it. It also gives me a payout calendar, which also is very, very helpful, which I will show you guys right now as it loads in. Again, there's different ways of investing into the stock market and things of that nature. I love dividends because it allows me to keep track and allows me to get consistent payments. So if a stock goes down and they still pay me, it's okay. So as you see, month of July, I'm at $44.54. August, I'll be expected to get $60 about, and September, I'm getting close to that $100 mark. Some companies have not announced the dividend yet because they have to check their balance sheet, as I was showing you in that awful drawing I did. You have to check the balance sheet to make sure there's enough money to pay out a dividend, and when they declare it, this will probably go up a little bit more. But for right now, what I'm at for declaration so far is at $95. As you can see, they're a little bit different because, again, this is like way far out into next year. So in the month of July here, which is great, so I just got paid out $15.15 last week alone. So I woke up Monday morning, got paid $4.78, which is fantastic. Woke up Wednesday morning, got $7.42, loved it. Woke up Thursday, got paid $2.94, and it was awesome. So I made $15, which pays for, maybe 2 Starbucks coffees at this point in my life. I don't really know. I always go back to coffee because I love coffee. This week coming up, I'm looking at even more money at $15.50. So this video is coming out on Monday. So I would have woken up on the Monday morning and gotten $4.78. I'm going to wake up Tuesday and get $1.36, $2.91, and $6.45 on Thursday. So if I go to my job, or no, sorry, not Thursday, Friday. So if I go to my job in the morning, I get $6.45. That does cover my Starbucks order in the morning. So this is why I love dividends, and I think it's a fantastic, way to invest. I'm not providing, obviously, financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, of course. And all this is just what I do personally, so don't follow my lead only. But again, as you can see, this kind of tracks where you're, when you're getting paid out. Some of them pay out monthly, some of them pay out quarterly, some of them pay out annually. So these are all this little chart helps me keep track to know if this whole, for example, Apple went everything was blank, that means Apple has no longer a dividend. And then I got to reevaluate it. So this kind of helps me track to see what I'm getting paid out, when I'm getting paid, when to expect it, and so on and so on and so forth. If you guys did enjoy this video, please feel free to subscribe, turn on the notifications, share this link with your family, your friends, your pets, your third cousins, whatever it is you would like. That'd be very much appreciated. Smash the like button if you liked it so much. And I will see you guys on Wednesday to kind of show you how to get started with investing. Thank you so much, everybody.